How many have you forgiven today? Chapter 9. What you least expect. Damn that mare to Tartarus. Luna still can't get over what happened inside of her mind. How dare she touch Anon? Luna grits her teeth and thought of why the elements did this to her. She spent countless nights wishing that the one thing to haunt her past would have been erased from existence. Yet, that wasn't the case. She knows not why the elements left that mare inside of her, but it's something that she has to live with. She hopes that Anon will not blame her for what had happened. She knows that he'll understand. But there's that small part of her that's afraid of losing his trust. He may say that he trusts her, but there will always be that voice in the back of his head, warning him of what lies beneath the surface. Luna has seen that side from her own sister. She never talked about it, but Luna knew what her sister was thinking whenever they made eye contact. That wariness. Since Anon has been spending time with her, Luna has seen that side of her lifted. She's happy for that, but it would hurt her if the same thing were to happen with Anon. Her heart aches at that thought. She never wants to lose him. He understands her in more ways than any other pony. Except for her own sister, of course. Yet there are just some things that not even her own sister can understand. Luna looks up from the floor and thought. She's been walking to her captain's room. She needs to speak with her about many things, primarily what happened yesterday. She knows that getting the full story will help put everyone's mind at ease. Luna knocks on the door and waits. Her captain soon comes and answers. She's quick to give a bow.
What brings you to my room, princess? You were following us last night, correct?
Luna asks.
Indeed I was. Then please enlighten me on what had transpired.
Blossom returns from her bow and waves the princess in.
Please come in and take a seat.
Luna doesn't pause as she walks inside and takes a seat. This wouldn't be the first time that she's been in her captain's room. Before her banishment, the two of them spent many nights conversing with one another about a great many things. Luna believed in being close to her knights, as familiarity breeds trust. Blossom closes the door and sits across from Luna.
So, I should start by saying that I didn't start following you until I was informed by one of my ponies that you, Anon, and your sister were acting strange.
Blossom says as Luna nods.
By the time I got there, you and Anon were running out of the castle. Alright, so tell me what happened. Understood.
In the past, Blossom is flying overhead of the princess and Anon as they run down the streets of Canterlot. It seems that what she heard from her stallions was accurate. There's definitely something wrong with those two. She would go down to investigate, but there seems to be no danger as of yet. Blossom lands onto a nearby building as she notices Luna stopping in her tracks. She angles her ears so she can pick up what they're saying.
Anon, why are we in the streets again?
Blossom can see that Anon is swaying slightly on Luna's back. It almost seems as if he's intoxicated? Is that what this is all about? Are the two of them drunk? It would make a degree of sense.
I don't remember. I think we were gonna do something fun.
Anon responds.
Fun?
Blossom whispers to herself. Blossom notices Luna's ears flicker towards her direction. Did Luna hear her just then? That doesn't seem to be the case as Luna looks off into a different direction, a large smile on her face.
Anon, what are your thoughts on nightclubs?
I don't know. I've never been to one.
I haven't either. Would you care to join me at such an event?
Sure thing, Lulu.
That causes Blossom to raise a brow. This is the first time that she's ever heard of another creature called Luna by a pet name. Is Luna blushing?
Very well.
Luna says with a smile. Before Blossom can question any more of what she saw, Luna takes off towards a rather well-known nightclub in Canterlot. This is going to be tricky for Blossom to stay undercover, but hopefully the large crowds will make it easier. Back in the present,
Lulu?
Luna asks, with her face growing red.
Is that a name that he calls you often?
Blossom asks with a noticeable grin. She shakes her head.
I have not heard him utter that name before in all of my time with him.
Blossom hums to herself. It's all so interesting how much she learns about those two.
Shall I continue?
Luna nods.
Please.
In the past, Blossom lets Anon and Luna get into the club a few minutes before she decided to sneak her way in. It wasn't very hard, and now she blended in with the crowd and watches from afar as Luna and Anon sit in a booth alone. It's a bit hard for her to hear what they're saying, but her ears aren't just for show.
This place is pretty nice,
Anon says to Luna.
I know, there are so many lively ponies here.
So, what do ponies do here?
They drink, dance, and have fun.
Well, I'm already smashed. Wanna dance, Lulu?
Luna giggles.
I have not danced in many moons, Anon. I fear my skills may have rusted.
Anon gets up from the table and offers Luna his hand.
Come on, we're looking to have fun, right?
Luna has a hard time containing her grin.
Oh, very well.
Blossom watches as the two of them walk from their booth and towards the dance floor. Blossom isn't sure what to think about all this, so she moves with the crowd so she can stay out of sight. The ponies give Anon and Luna a wide berth as they make it to the center of the dance floor.
So, what should we do?
Luna asks. Anon has a large smile on his face.
Remember when he went into my head?
She nods.
Do you think you can swing?
Luna starts giggling like a school filly, something Blossom hasn't seen in a long time. She looks back up at Anon with a huge grin.
Let's give these ponies a show.
Blossom has no idea what to expect as she watches Anon and Luna get into position. Luna is up on her hind hooves as she rests her forehooves on Anon's shoulders. It seems that every pony in the entire club is looking their way. They both give each other a smile as they nod in unison. Anon takes Luna's hoof in his hand and starts to twirl her around. Every pony is silent now as they watch Anon spinning the princess. Soon he extends his arm out and Luna spins ends with her striking a pose. Anon pulls her back quickly to his side as he starts to move his feet in a pattern that even Blossom finds herself mesmerized by. Anon brings Luna in front of him and picks her up, sweeps her under his legs as Luna lands behind him and pulls his arms up, which makes Anon do a front flip. Now all of the ponies are cheering them on as Luna pulls Anon to her side. The both of their legs are moving in sync as they continue to display a motion that looks as if they're gliding on air. Anon does a few more twirls with Luna before he picks her up again, but unlike the last time, this time he wraps her around his body. The entire motion looks so fluid to Blossom as Luna snakes down Anon's body in between his legs, ending with another pose. Anon then quickly picks Luna up as they return to each other, pressing their bodies firmly together as they face one another. They glide around the dance floor for a moment, just before the entire display ends with Anon dipping Luna low to the ground, their faces only inches from the other. No pony in the club can contain themselves as their cheers turn to hollers. Anon pulls up from his dip, the two of them still inches from one another. The crowd seems to be eating it up as they finally break eye contact. The both of them are red in the face as they look out at the crowd. All ponies are stomping their hooves in cheer.
That was fun,
Anon says.
Very. I would enjoy doing that again sometime.
Luna's face gets redder.
Perhaps we could practice in private?
Sure, I could do this again. It was really fun.
Just before Blossom could question what Luna meant by that, Celestia comes walking into the club. She scans the room until she rests her gaze on Anon and Luna. They don't even realize that she's there until she used her magic to drag the both of them out of the club. Back in the present.
That's when I stopped following. It looked like Celestia had everything in her hooves from there.
Blossom looks at Luna and can see how red her face is.
I did not expect to hear this, Blossom.
Blossom chuckles a bit.
Yeah, the two of you really put on a show. What was that swing dance anyways? Something from Anon's world. Did we really dance so well?
Blossom nods.
It was like the two of you were a single pony. I've never seen such fluid dancing like that before. I'd say it was even better, seeing as you two were drunk.
Luna takes a minute to compose herself.
I think I should be going. Thank you for recalling me.
Hey, no need for thanks. I was plenty entertained with that last night. Luna's embarrassment is at its peak as she rises from her seat and quickly shows herself out of Blossom's room. Blossom can only chuckle to herself. It seems that the princess has a bit of a crush, whether she knows it or not. Celestia's already on her 6th cake, but she stops mid-bite as some pony knocks on her throne room door. Her brow raises as she rests her fork into the box and places the cake beside her. Who could be coming to see her? She stopped day court a while ago.
Princess?
The guard sitting beside her questions what he should do. Celestia looks down at him and nods her head towards the door. The guard doesn't hesitate as he trots over to the door and uses his magic to open it. Celestia notices that he bows before whoever is behind it.
Is that who I think it is?
Celestia asks with a smile on her face.
Of course, Auntie!
Cadence says, returning the smile. Celestia rises from her throne and meets Cadence halfway. They embrace one another in a hug.
It's been so long since I've seen you.
Celestia says, happy to see her niece.
I know, things were busy over in Griffiths. So, how much did you learn? A lot. I don't think I've ever met so many interesting creatures in my life.
Celestia chuckles at that. It's been 2 months since Cadence left to practice her diplomatic skills over in Griffiths. It was just one of the many steps that she needs to take before becoming a proper princess. At least, she will be one in time. Luna's pretty damn obvious with her crush on Anon, but so far Celestia seems like she's holding it a little bit better. But we'll eventually see where that leads. Anyways, let's get on to our humble donators. Top donators are 630, J10Man, Darkside, Only One Thing, and Ceru Orion. Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel Skies, Austin Rolan, Stu Hex, Swordbrother and Mordred, Omicron Lyrae, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Hazaza, Riot Soul, Iron Sky, Badass Waffle, Shadow Moon, and many more gorgeous people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.